morning, everybody. Good morning. Sorry about that. All right. All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Unscripted with your host, Charles Dixon. Okay. This is what I'm learning. Seems like if I talk about one topic, then everybody jumps on board with their problems. No, anyway, just playing. I love it. It don't matter what you ask me. I enjoy doing this. So, if something I said on another show prompts you to want to bring up something else, that's, it's all about everybody trying to help. We just trying to help each other out. All right. I'll wait one more second. Good morning again to anybody just tuning in. All right, so. All right. Let me know if y'all ready for me to shoot. Just say go. Okay. All right. Go. All right. What's up, Fred? Valerie, how are you guys? All right. Question. Am I crazy for wanting my cheating husband still? This is a little bit of a quick little, it's a little bit of a read, y'all, but I'm going to go ahead on into it. Again, am I crazy for wanting my cheating husband? I married my high school sweetheart. I knew from the very moment we met, I wanted to be his wife and have his babies. My dream was made real when he proposed, and we married 8 years ago. We were elated when we found out our efforts to conceive were not fruitless, and we were expecting a baby. It was during my routine 6-month prenatal checkup that my world fell apart. My doctor broke the news that I had contracted an STD. Again, my doctor broke the news that I had contracted an STD. My husband was cheating on me and brought genital herpes back to me and endangering the unborn child I was carrying. I cannot begin to describe the betrayal, anger, sadness, and physical pain I was in. I was completely and totally broken. I left the doctor's office and went home to confront my husband and break the news of my STD. He pleaded for forgiveness, owned his mistake, and the guilt of the danger and exposure to me and the child I carried. I thought broke him. I put him out. We went to counseling. I delivered the baby, and it was after delivery, while still in the hospital, we decided to make our marriage work, stay together, and rebuild our family. I know it sounds crazy, but I thought this tribulation and pregnancy brought us closer together. I forgave him because, keeping it real, I still loved him. I was deeply in love with him. I wanted my husband and my family. The fact that he was fighting to stay in our lives made me fall in love with him all over again. That was 3 years ago and 4 other side chicks ago. Yes, that is correct. He is still cheating, but he's good to me. A great father to our child. The sex is good, and I still want my husband. I know others would say leave, but I really don't want to. I want him to stop cheating. I know others would say leave, but I really don't want to. I want him to stop cheating, see that I am all he needs, and just be fine with only me. I don't want to leave my husband. I'm miserable without him. I am crazy for loving this man. He says he is sorry, and the women mean nothing to him. He even told me, I will leave them alone for you, but I would never leave you for them. He told me, let's say that again. He told me, I will leave them alone for you, but I will never leave you for them. I don't know how to let him go, and for real, I don't want to. So the question, y'all, is she says, am I crazy for wanting my cheating husband? Now, let me make a disclaimer. I am not a licensed marriage counselor. You know, I may have a small credential or two, but nothing to do with marriage counseling. So that's my disclaimer. However, you know, advice is advice. You know, you just pretty much all it is we sitting up in the bleachers. There's an issue going on the field, and all of us are able to look down and give our opinion. So that's how I approach this. She says, is she crazy for loving her husband? So, you know, he's her husband. So it's her right to love him if she likes. It's her right to stay with him if she likes. I would say, I don't think you're crazy. I think she's watching. I'll be really sensitive. I don't think she's crazy for loving her cheating husband. I think she's crazy for not being fair to her self-esteem. Again, I don't think she's crazy for not wanting to leave her cheating husband. I think she's crazy for not being fair to her self-esteem. Unfortunately, I can tell you this, like we talked about yesterday, cheating is a horrible plight. And once you get into it, and once you walk with it like a coat, like if you keep the code of cheating in between you and your partner, whether it's a relationship or marriage, it's really bad. Because if the person, if they do love you, okay, maybe, you know, an indiscretion once, indiscretion maybe twice, y'all get through it, talk about it, go to a counselor, pastor if that's your thing, and you keep moving. But at some point, the cheating will begin to erode at the woman. She's going to look at herself. She's not going to feel attractive. She's not going to feel nice. She's not going to feel none of these things. She's going to feel like she's the ugliest woman at work, the ugliest woman on the street. Why can't he look at me? Why don't he want me? Why does he need all of these outlets? And so what she has done is internalized. Yeah, you're making a good point, Val. That's a good point. That the herpes, I forgot about that. But anyway, the thing is this. That's really not good. But yeah, I mean, this is going to interrupt what I was going to say when I saw that. But okay, I'm going to say this. The herpes part is horrible because, again, sometimes us men, when we out here, women too, anybody can contract a disease and bring it home. But we're talking about a husband, so we're talking about men. So men can be out here, we can be doing this stuff, and we out here and we crazy and we not thinking because we done cut this brain off and thinking with the other one. Remember, this off, thinking with the other one. So we thinking with him, this one right here is bipolar, crazy, all kind of things. So he ain't listening to nobody. He just want to do what he want to do. And so when that gets to going, it gets reckless, it gets crazy. And as we see, he had a whole baby, got pregnant, and gave the wife a disease. And after that, you know, he said he still want to be there. And then he still got 4 more side chicks after 3 years. So he's piling on more. So this is a bigger problem. She has a self-esteem issue right now because rightfully so. You know, she's a wife that, you know, he brought the disease home. She's in love with him, as she say. She's in love with him. The sex is good. This is a lot of combinations, and it's her husband. So it's real ugly if we're being realistic. I know a lot of us can just say, girl, bye, go do this, that, and other. But I know for a fact, many people have stayed for far less. So the point I'm saying, far more severe things than that. As severe as that sounds. But nonetheless, the husband says, let's check this out. He says, I'll stop seeing them if you like, but I'll leave them for you, but I'll never leave you for them. Hello, ain't no man gonna leave his stable wife for 4 unstable women if they are willing to be on your side. That, guess what? A side is just that. When you look at a cake, and it's cut up into, let's say you cut it up into 12 pieces, right? You may have them pieces, but guess what? The cake, when you take that one piece out, it's missing the space. And as in all cases, the cake will shift, or somebody gonna start taking more pieces. It's gonna go over here, over there. What am I saying? Side chicks are not loyal. They realize their position. They play with you the role that they need to play with you, but they're not loyal to you. That's why they have taken the job of being on the side. I want partiality of you, but I don't want all. Just give me my cut and give me my due of what I want with this relationship with you, and that's it. And I think this is where us men get it twisted, when we try to compare the enjoyment of a side chick to our women. Ain't no comparison. It's side and it's whole. Do you want a piece of cake? You want somebody to bring you a piece of cake, a piece of your favorite cake, or do you want them to bring you an unwrapped, untouched, whole cake that you can go home and enjoy entirely to yourself? You gotta look at it like that. So the other part is with the guy, he's clearly being selfish. He realizes she likes his sex. He realizes that he knows how to play his position as I won't say husband, because the position of husband is honoring your wife, not bringing them diseases, not cheating on them, this, that, and that. So let's just say he's honoring his position as her partner in bed, in her house. That's what he's doing. He's honoring his position as your partner, your roommate, your partner in bed. He's not honoring himself as your husband. So what happens in these situations is it's hard for people in general. We're talking about the husband, but it's hard for people to double back on respect. Again, it's hard for people to double back on respect when they lose it, and when they see, like I said yesterday, when I said yesterday about the cheating, how the men is looking for her fury. Well, guess what? Check this out. I said yesterday, sometimes when men are losing respect, the thing that brings things back to motion for the relationship, can have some vibrancy and fire to begin to work again, is when he's able to receive the punishment or the just due that he know he deserves. If he's like a bad kid, if he goes to school, act a fool, beat up the neighbor's kids, cuss out other parents, and their parent don't say nothing to him, guess what? He's gonna become the worst menace to society. So it's no different when it comes to these relationships. When women, I don't care, I'm not saying beat a man and you're not his mother. I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying is, if you don't check men, that means you need to get in his face and have a thorough lashing argument, whatever it takes. If he gonna love you, he gonna listen to you. You might be crying, he may cry, but he gonna listen to you and feel your passion. And it's gonna get on his nerves, trust me. It's gonna get on his nerves. But he gonna listen if he loves you. The point is this guy, he has threw everything at you but the kitchen sink. And it doesn't sound like one time I have not read in that thing that you have showed him an ounce of wrath or fury. You just keep worrying about how sex good and you still want the family. I get it. Any man would love a woman that is committed to not leaving him. But he will not respect a woman that is committed to being his fool. Any man will respect a woman that's committed to not leaving him, but any man just won't respect the woman that's committed to be his fool. Just being straight. And like I said, when we allow certain things, it's a bad position it puts us in. And sometimes the unfortunate thing, the person that's really honestly, sincerely loves love is left holding the bag. And it sounds like this woman has either saw a family structure where she saw a family structure, maybe she was raised that way, or if she didn't have it, she said to herself, I want nothing more than to have a family of my own, and I want things to work like this, that, and the other. Well, you need to join the club. It's a lot of women who want that, and past tense that. And for whatever reason, life happened, and the will was executed, and things were implemented and changed. So I'm saying this to say, again, we got to sometimes look at things for what it is. It sounds like the woman has an asphyxiation to just being in his, something about, I'm going to say this, and this may sound ugly. You can't tell me a woman that knows a man has 4, 5, 6 women, and if she's pledging her allegiance to say she loves him, she honestly loves that situation. what it is sometimes, unfortunately, is we as people sometimes we get so low in our beings and vibrations that we are just content with a number. We get content with a number, and that number is, well, I don't care, I'm in the house, I'm his number one, and we have a child. It means nothing to the guy enjoying himself. It means nothing. The guy that's enjoying himself, the husband, that, okay, that's fine, yeah, you the ride or die and you in the house. Thanks for keeping my happy home and taking care of things while I'm out in the street. Who wouldn't be happy with that? Anybody gonna be happy with somebody sitting there, a sitting duck. Anybody gonna be happy with that? Because like I always say this. I used to say this to my friends when we was younger. I used to tell people, because one of my friends had this attractive girlfriend, and he wasn't that attractive, but all the girls used to try to like him because they were curious as to how did he get this pretty girl. So I'm telling him, and I told him, because he had the pretty girl, there was a certain air of confidence that he walked with, because he knew he had this fine girl that everybody coveted. So it's the same thing when there's a married man and when he has his pick of the litter with women in the street. Women in the street are drawn to his confidence and the fact that he got somebody that has agreed to buy into his bull. So because somebody has agreed to buy into him, the other woman is saying, well, certainly there's some worth with him. He must be a good guy because she married him and she's still with him after all these years. And she's nice and she's pretty and all these things. And so we make these reasons in our mind just to deem this guy doable. Well, guess what? I mean, look, the guy got a family. The guy has herpes. The guy has a wife. He has a child. All of that. You know, again, I'm not telling nobody what to do, because I don't really like to touch married stuff all the time. It's a really touchy subject. But if I would say counseling, but it doesn't sound like she want to leave. It sounds like she want to love and turn the other cheek. And if you can stomach that, then have at it. But the fact that you took the time to write this thing tells me that you realize that you're not gonna be able to successfully have your cake and eat it too. That means he ain't gonna, either you're gonna have him at home and put your dark Ray Charles glasses on and act like you don't see what's going on in the house when you're cooking and letting him run out in the street. Either you're gonna do that, or you're gonna have to deal with something ugly that you just don't want to see. And that true reality is, if you haven't if he has not seen your wrath in 7-8 years, however long y'all been married, by this point, he don't think it exists. All he think exists is your enjoyment for his physical prowess, his sex. That's the only thing he think exists is his good sex that you like, and him being in a body in the place to be at the right time, and kind of serving as the man that with the title of husband, lacked minus the honor that he was supposed to bestow as being your husband. He's your husband in title only, but certainly not in honor. So all I'm just going to say to you is this is bad. The child is involved, a disease is involved, and it's just habitual. It's continual. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say this from a man experience, and I'm going to tell you from me. I said this before. I said this time and time again. Even not even being married, when I found myself in a place of like addiction on that level, I was literally addicted to appetites and textures and different whatever. Make a long story short, I literally had to pray and ask God to give me singleness of mind, because I had mastered juggling. And it came easy. It was just juggling, and it was unhealthy, and it was selfish, and it was hurtful, and all these things. And so I say that to say to the woman, this thing don't turn over overnight. It is a process when you have a cheating husband. It don't turn around overnight. I'm going to be honest with you. And he's not going to turn around and go to church and somebody's going to lay hands on him and it's going to say, go and be loosed. And he's going to go back home and stop calling them phone numbers. Now, I'm not saying prayer doesn't work, because it does. And there may be a seed planted in him of change, a seed of change. But however, if he is just if he's not ready and he feels as though he can continue to get away with it with you, he is not going to stop. So that sexual, when you get into that sexual thing, it is not a game. And you get stuck in it, you stuck in it, and you stuck in it, and you stuck in it because you simply can. And you're not meeting any resistance, so you simply can. Again, you're not meeting resistance, so you simply can. And so if the woman, again, he has never seen your wrath. Telling you, I'm saying this to women, men need to at least see your wrath once or twice in the relationship or marriage. You need to see how you can turn up. That is what keeps us centered. If we don't see that, we take full advantage and keep on going. So my point is, in this situation, he's already won the Super Bowl. He has a woman that he has a wife. Okay, he has a wife. He had an indiscretion. Okay, let's just say I give him. Let's just say he made a mistake the first time, and in that mistake, it is totally palpable that somebody can. It was. I know that he was. Let's get a little graphic. He went raw, which was disrespectful to his wife. Right? He went raw with the lady in the street, and that was irresponsible. And he brought back the baby. He brought back the kid, and he brought back the disease, the herpes, to his wife. So that was raw in itself. But let's just put our hands up and say mistakes happen. People got issues. People aren't perfect. And maybe in the heat of the moment of whatever he was doing, he wasn't thinking, and it happened. But when she said, after he pleaded to want to stay with her, be with her, and then 4 years later, there were 3 or 4 more side chick type situations to occur. This is letting you know clearly this guy does not want to stop. He likes it. He's addicted to it. And he knows he has an audience at home that will pay to go to his shows in you. You are his audience that pays to look at his show of cheating. You, his wife, are his audience. As long as a person has an audience, they're going to keep on putting on the show. How you stop the show is you stop the funding and you stop watching it and you leave. So in this case, he realizes he got a show, and I'm sure all women know, especially wives, if you've been married and you had a cheating husband, the minute the woman ex is left, the cheating no longer is fun. It's only fun when you know you have an audience sitting there patiently watching and waiting on you. When it's over with, when none of that stuff, there is no need to get out there. There is no, how can I chase and hunt this person down? You only feel excited about hunting because your home base and your camp is already filled. Hunting is more intentional when there's nobody back at the nest. When there's somebody back at the nest, hunting is just game sport. Hunting is only intentional when the cupboards are bare and there's nothing back there, and you realize everything that you do away from that hut has to be intentional for your survival. Other than that, you out here acting a fool and it's game time. So to answer this lady's question, she says, am I crazy for loving my cheating husband? Look, marriage is a covenant. However you want to slice it and look at it and make it work for you, you're entitled to that because you're his wife. Nobody on this message board can tell you to go on and go a girl by and leave because you're in a covenant. So however you can stomach to live in that covenant, that's up to you. But the fact that you're asking the question, you do not like the fact that you want, I was going to say you want your cake and eat it too, but it should be your cake if he's your husband. But in this case, you're not going to be able to eat it because your husband has put some impurities in the cake that's harmful and potentially harmful to you. He brought home the herpes this time. Next time, it could be another thing with H. So, you got to ask yourself that question. Is the feeling of this completion that you're conceptualizing in your mind with him being you in love with him completely, you have like his sex and all those things, all that stuff is psychological. It really is. Those euphoric feelings are psychological. And if you can somehow pause them and get to a point where you are thinking about yourself and you first and your child, let's just say the child first, then you, then you can make a concerted decision to say, you know what, I love my actor of a spouse. I love my acting actor of a spouse, but in reality, you are living in denial. In reality, you're living in denial, and this is really it's not a marriage. It is a one-sided transaction. He getting all the spoils, and you just getting the scraps of when he gets back home. That's the reality. It's one-sided. The whole point of people getting together in the union business of marriage is to come together and let's be partners and grow this thing together. Not let me come in there and step on your face, back, shoes, legs, give you disease, all this, and then still bring in 10 other parties while we're married. That's not the whole point of that. So, you're not crazy for, you're not crazy for loving and wanting to stay with your husband. That's what a wife should do. But you are crazy for ignoring your issue with self-esteem. It's really low, and it's never good for anybody to make lifelong decisions from a place of low self-esteem fuel. It's not, because you can make some life-altering decisions that can mess you up for life. That's just my take. Don't try to have your husband come looking for me. I'm sorry. But no, seriously. We as men need to get help. Seriously. This is real talk. If you love your husband, go with him to counseling. And then after he goes, you go. If you love your husband, go with him to suggest he go to counseling. Because I'm telling you, when you're dealing with a man that has a sexual issue, you better get him in front of somebody's pastor, somebody's person to talk to, and the Lord, hopefully that somebody can reach him, whether it be the Lord or the person, the clinician that's in front of him. And to be honest, you can't change that thing in him. Only thing you're hoping for when you see a person, a professional person, you're just simply hoping that this person can paint a good enough picture of a mirror to allow him to see himself. Because that's the only way he's going to consider change, if he can see himself. If he just going in there sitting with you and he's seeing a man and he's like, oh, this dude talking about whatever, I'm out of here. He's not reaching your husband. But if the guy's able to reach your husband, if he can reach him and get your husband to be like, you know what, when a man is being reached, he gonna start crying, he gonna break down, and you're gonna start seeing those pieces of him chip away. If he ain't being reached, his eyes gonna remain stock front, and he gonna get up, walk away from that table, and be good. So, you just got to just pray you got to pray. If you want to, sounds like you want to be a married woman and you want to keep your husband, that's not a crime at all. Again, you just got to learn the difference. Sometimes we have to learn the difference between spouse and imposters. That's the problem. A lot of us are committed in marriages to imposters, not spouses, and not husbands and wives. We didn't realize what these names mean and understand that they come with positions and they come with entitlements and they come with royalty. Like I said, the husband, he honors, and the woman has to honor as he honors. They say and the Bible talks about wives honor your husband as he honors God. In this case, he's not even honoring God. So what's going on? But anyway, so here's the thing. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I'm going to honestly, like I said, speaking from a person that's far from perfect, I will certainly pray for you guys for sure. This is not a good situation. Being stuck in an esteem dilemma is a terrible reality. So ask your husband, does he want to go with you to get, talk to somebody and see how that works for you guys. And I hope something can come out of it. Well, if not, you're already married and you got a husband, and at least you know what you're dealing with. That's the only positive thing in this conversation. You know that he's cheating, and you know that he potentially may bring something home. Unfortunately, they don't make condoms for women. Anyway, all right, well, have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 8:15. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys.